Oops. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dozen Cats for Me Wellness Chats. My name is Kelly. Today is Thursday, November the 11th, 2021. I hope everybody's doing well today. Taking advantage of the 1111 portal. Doing your manifestations. Hi, Mary. How are you? You're cooking? That sounds fantastic. I hope you're cooking something yummy for dinner or for lunch, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining me. I'm just shuffling up my cards here while I'm chatting away. Now, I didn't actually know that there was such a thing as an 1111 portal. I just learned that today by watching Ellie at Heart and Soul Connected. She had a wonderful show with Valerie, and it was very informative. And it got me to thinking. And I was going to do like a pre-recorded video, but I decided to go live. Like, why not? And now I realized that the 1111 portal, after listening to Allie and Valerie speak earlier, is not the same thing as 1111 or 111, the angel numbers. However, when I decided to do this video, or had planned to do this video, the pre-recorded version, that was what I wanted to talk about, was my experience with 1111. And so, since it is the 11th day of the 11th month, I figure it's okay if I still speak about it. So, many years ago, back in 2008 or 2009, my grandmother was very ill and was hospitalized. And I started noticing 1111. And probably about on the 4th or 5th day, I thought, this is really weird. Like, what's happening? Why do I keep saying this? And I had no idea. I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know it was considered an angel number. I had no knowledge of any of it. And about 3 weeks later, my grandmother passed. And I had asked my mom to find out what time, because I got called at 1:15. And so I immediately assumed that's why I'm seeing, the 1111. And we were never able to find out the exact time. I mean, I'm sure it was on, some certificate of her passing or hospital records, but we were never able to find that out. And so, we move forward and we don't really think about it a whole lot. And it seems to go in fits and spurts for me. Like, I'll see it, every day or every other day for a couple of months, and then I won't see it for a couple of months. And then again, everywhere I go, like in change that I receive at the store, or it's a license plate number, or it's, on a bill, or, like on a game. It's like weird. I mean, I didn't understand it. And so I decided to look it up. And so I looked it up on the internet, and, my goodness, there was like 98 different answers as to what 1111 could mean. But basically, the consistent information that I received that it is considered an angel number, that it is considered a powerful angel number, and that, it's my gateway, my opening, my sort of my optimum time to manifest whatever I was, dealing with or thinking of or so forth. And I'll confess, I mean, I didn't really understand what I was reading because I hadn't really, I didn't know anything about spirituality and angel numbers and so on and so forth. So I read it, I took it in, and I was like, yep, okay, whatever. Um, so sorry, I'm having a really bad hair day, as you can tell. So a few years later, um, and I continued to see it in those fits and spurts, like I spoke about. A few years later, I started seeing it again. And I told my mom that I had seen, 1111, 111, and that I thought that it had something to do with my grandmother. And my mother was a very practical person, and she was like, "You're nuts." Um, and so one day I'm at my mom's house and visiting because my mother lived out of town. And we went for a walk. And on our way returning back from our walk, her friends, her neighbors, were outside in their front lawn. So they asked, if we wanted to come and join them. And we sat down and started chatting. And one of the ladies there said, in a matter of fact way, something about her brother passing, and that she sees 1111 and sometimes gets woken up at 1111 or 111. And she believes that that's her brother. And this is quite comical to me. All of a sudden, my mother was a believer, right? Like instantly. My mom was like, "Oh my gosh, my daughter sees it too. And tell them your story." And I was like, "Oh, now it's real." Anyway, so I told my story, and I went home and tried to investigate it further because now I was interested. So this woman had said that her brother had died at 1111, and she believes that that's why she sees it. It's her brother's way of contacting her. Now, I had people, in my family, close relatives that that had passed, but I didn't understand the correlation, and I thought, based on what that woman had told me, that there had to be some kind of connection. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they lived at a 111 address, or there was 111 in their address, or something of that nature. Hi, Kenzie. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Mwah. So here's the funny story about that. So nobody in my family, or nothing that I ever could ever, get any confirmation on, ever told me anything about anyone living at a 111 address, or, passing at an 11 time. So I didn't understand it. So now we fast forward to, 2010, and my mother is diagnosed with lung cancer. And I am seeing, 411, 511, 611, 811, 1111, 111 all over the place, all the time. And specifically, I remember when my mother was put in the hospital in November of 2011, making the trip to the hospital, and I would be shouting out, it's 411, it's 511, it's 611. And like my family is like, will you shut up? Like, who cares, right? Okay. So my mother passes. Hi, Vivian. How are you? And there's nothing to do about 1111. I mean, she's not in a room 1111, and she didn't die on the 11th day, and she didn't die at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. or 11 at night. But I continued to see 1111. And again, it's not consistently. It is, in fits and spurts. And honestly, I just sort of took it that, there was something going on. above my belief system, something going on that I didn't really fully comprehend. I didn't take it as a negative sign, and I know there are some people out there that see it as a negative. I chose to look at it as from a positive sort of standpoint. And so last year, in 2020 June something, I'm having a reading done. I don't say anything about 1111 because, honestly, really, who cares, right? You tell people this, they think you're wacko. And this woman says to me at the end of the reading, as she puts her hand up to the screen, because we were doing it over Zoom, right? As she puts her hand up to the screen and she sort of points her finger at me, and she says to me, your mother says that when you see 1111 on the clock, know it's me. I almost fell off my chair. Literally, like I almost fell off my chair. I was like, what? And so now that every time I see 1111, every time I see 111, I say, thank you, mommy. I love you. I miss you. And I just take it as such. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like I'm honored that out of all the people that my mother could be sending messages to, she chose to send me that message at that moment, right? Not that I'm any more important than anybody else is, but it just makes me feel really good. And ever since that moment in time when I was told that in that reading, and of course, I shared that with my family. My sister will see 1111, and she'll take a screenshot and send it to me, or my niece will see 1111 and let me know about it. So it's become our thing, shall we say? And I just think it's really cool. I feel like I don't really know the word to use, but it makes me just feel like so good, right? So, Vivian, you say that you see 1111 often too? Yeah, I just find it incredible when you get a message like that, I mean, there's lots of messages that spirit could send you, right? People see feathers and dimes and or other change, right? Pennies, different birds or butterflies or other animals. There's lots of signs and symbols that spirit can send us. Maybe you smell a perfume, or perhaps maybe you could smell cigarette smoke if they were a smoker. There's lots of signs and symbols, that spirit could send you. But the 1111 thing is quite special to me, and I think the reason why it's so special to me is because when I first told my mom about it, she was like, right, sure. And then to have her come through that reading, which, I mean, that woman didn't know that I see 1111. She didn't know anything about that, and for her to say that my mom said that it's me, don't doubt it, that was quite special. So I think that it holds a special meaning for me now, even more so than it did before, because now I sort of understand the reason why, or at least I think I do. So that was really all I had to say about 1111. Excuse me for coughing. Kenzie, do you see 1111? Oh, Vivian says it started one night at the supermarket when you're totally right. Wow. That's amazing, right? And I mean, don't you feel, Vivian, like it's just when you get a receipt like that, 11111, like it's almost like it's too many numbers in sequence to be a coincidence, don't you find? Interesting. I find it so cool. I'd like to share another story. This has nothing to do with 1111, but since we're on the topic about, gifts that spirit could send us. So, um, when my mom, one of the times when my mom was in the hospital, uh, I had gone out to meet my stepfather, and I was standing at the car door, and I was talking to him while he was still in the car. And I looked down as he was about to get out, and there was a penny on the ground, so I picked it up, put it in my pocket. We went around to the back of the vehicle. He was getting something out of the trunk, and there was another penny on the ground, right? Picked it up, put it in my pocket, and when I went around towards the door of the hospital, there was another penny on the ground. So I picked it up, I put it in my pocket. I went inside the hospital, and my mother said to me, or well, said to everyone, I would like to speak to my daughter alone. So, okay. So everyone leaves, and I'm with my mom, and I say to her, Mom, like, I found these 3 pennies outside. Now, my mother wasn't a highly suspicious person by nature, but every once in a while she would say something, like don't walk under a ladder, or don't put like new shoes on a table. It's bad luck, things like that. So I show her these pennies that I've got, and she holds them tight, like puts her hands tight around my hands, which are holding onto the pennies. She kisses my hand, and she says, for pennies from heaven, right? And so that's cool, right? Put it back in my pocket, and I went about my business. And when my mother died, I was at the hospital for hours, days, whatever. And I finally was convinced, to go and get something to eat. And so I left. And no sooner, of course, did I leave the parking lot, and my sister texted me to come back, that my mom had passed. And so I went back to the hospital, and we walked out the front door. Like, I met my sister at the front door, and we walked out to the parking lot, and I reached into the passenger side of the car to get something out of the car. I don't know if my drink was in there or whatever. And there was a penny on the floor mat. And like, I remember at that moment being absolutely heartbroken, but seeing that penny just really like squeezed my heart in such a joyful way, right? I just think it's amazing when spirit reaches out, and or your angels or your ancestors, or however which way you want to refer to them as, when they send you a message, when they decide to honor you with letting you know that at that particular moment, on that particular day, for whatever reason, they thought that you needed to know that they were with you. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. I have a bunch of oracle cards here that I have pulled out, and I've been shuffling away while we're chatting. So I think I would like to pull. These are postcards from Spirit. It's a huge deck. I'm just gonna run them over the candle that I have burning here. Let's see what we can get today as a message. These are beautiful cards. Sorry, it helps if I hold them up to the camera. They're gorgeous cards. They sort of look like antiqued paper. Quite thick. All right. So, as I said, that's the back side of the card. And then the message is printed on the opposite side. So I will read that. It says, Dearest you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some special place where proof you're perfect, or sorry, where poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a contained experience, whatever form you take. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You are special as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world, individual, yet a part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you are on the right track, even if your ego self doesn't seem see that. Listen to your soul, check in with your spirit, keep going. On the bottom, it signs Spirit loves you, life loves you, we love you. So that's very appropriate for the 1111 portal and manifesting. Um, Spirit letting you know that you can't just write, I want a new car on a piece of paper, or say it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, and tomorrow, the car's going to be in your driveway with a big bow on it. You know, you also have to work along with, Spirit to help you to achieve, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Hi, Butterfly Kisses. How are you? Thank you for joining me. So that's a lovely card. Let's see, what other card shall we pull? How about, I really enjoy these cards here. These are the secret language of love. Secret language of love. The secret language of color cards. They're glorious on the outside. So this is a new deck for me as well. I bought a whole bunch of new decks. So let's just see what message we get from this. I'm glad that you're here, Butterfly Kisses, because we're talking about 1111 today, and I was just telling how I know it's not the same as the 1111 portal, but how I've seen 1111 for years and years and years, drove my family crazy with all my stories of shout outs to 911, 311, 411, or whatever the case may be. Do you have any stories about 1111? Even though I realize they're angel numbers and it's not the same as the 1111 portal, but do you have any stories that you would like to share? Wow. So that's the card that we got. Orange, nurture yourself. It's such a beautiful card. The images in this deck are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. The card number is 16. So we're going to go to 16 and see what it has to tell us. Orange helps to heal digestive ailments as well as chest and kidney disorders. It also assists with the treatment of asthma, fear, loneliness, spasms, tension, inflammation, colds, and depression. I had no idea. Allow orange rays to increase your happiness and confidence. Nurture. Picture yourself floating in a bath of warm, soft orange liquid. Your muscles, mind, and body totally relaxed. Let the orange liquid penetrate your lungs and respiratory system to clear away all toxicity, tension, and fear, and replace them with feelings of resilience, happiness, and confidence. Say, I am beautiful, divine being who deserves to be nurtured and supported. I am now willing to receive care, gentleness, and kindness from others. Wow. What a beautiful message that is. Oh, you were? That's amazing, Butterfly Kisses. I watched some of your videos on your trip to Peru. I mean, amazing. I imagine that you probably have thousands and thousands of photographs. Simply amazing. Excuse me. While Butterfly Kisses is here, I wanted to make a special message to her, a special thank you. But since you're here, I will say this now. I was on a show with Allie, Heart and Soul Connected, and told, some of my story. And Butterfly Kisses was kind enough to say in the chat that she felt compelled to reach out to me and asked me to email her. And I emailed her, and she was kind enough to chat with me a little bit back and forth and offer me 2 complimentary long distance healing sessions. And I confess I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I was, and anything that's going to help, anything that's going to heal the past wounds and help propel me forward, I'm down for. And it was an amazing experience because, again, I wasn't really sure what to expect. The first time I was outside. That's my happy place. So I went outside and I sort of lounged in my lounge chair, and I started sort of feeling tingles in my hand and both of my hands then, and my arms, and I mean, so relaxed, like to the point where I could not get myself, like I didn't think I had the energy to walk to my bed, if that made sense. Like I would like exhausted, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? It was incredible. Now I mean, look at the right, big dark circles under my eyes. I've always had them. I don't sleep well at all. I really never have, not since being an adult. I really haven't. And wow, I mean, I slept for like 10 hours, like uninterrupted. I woke up feeling like refreshed and relaxed in a way that, I mean, honestly, I don't remember feeling that way in years, like that, waking up the next morning feeling like my body wasn't aching, my body was not tired or kicking me in the behind saying get back into bed, like you need another 4 hours sleep. I just felt good. So that was incredible. And then we had a session the next night, and this time I actually sat in this chair, and I have a footstool that y'all can't see underneath the table here, and I put my feet up on the table, and now this time I didn't feel any tingles, but so relaxed. I mean, it's like, in my mind, it would be like as if I went to a spa retreat kind of place, you know what I mean? And I was hearing like all the white noise kind of, I mean, it was like it was like I was put in the most perfect setting to allow myself to actually be able to relax. Because I don't think that even when I try to relax, I actually, like, my body doesn't relax, if that makes sense. Anyhow, so I was so sleepy and feeling like very zen, I guess is the best word I can think of. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay like this. I'm going to have a wee cat nap. And I kind of, like, out of the corner of my eye, looked at the computer and I lay down. And all of a sudden I had this like, I don't really know how to describe it. It was like a snapshot, like a photo. Now, I don't want to make anyone, nauseous when I do this, but imagine, if you will, well, let me pick a card that you can actually see. So imagine if I took this card, right? And now this is what I saw in my mind. So my eyes were closed, but I wasn't asleep, but I was almost asleep. right? And all of a sudden in my mind, this is what happened, right? So it kind of went like that and then pulled right back out again. And look at the card I just pulled, by the way. I mean, how freaky is that, right? Uh, it was so clear, the image that I saw, like crystal clear. I knew what the person, there was three people in the snapshot that I saw. There was a man, like a older man, and two younger children. And I don't mean like little kids. I mean, teenager-ish kids. And I could see the color of his tracksuit. He was wearing a toque, which was weird, like the one with the pom pom on it. Uh, uh, it was like I wasn't afraid of it, but I was like what's happening? What like and I could feel myself trying to concentrate and tune into it. Um, just it was amazing. And so I wrote to Butterfly Kisses and said like this, thank you so much, and like this is what happened. What do you think? And she said, I think I just channeled a message for you, which I mean, I'm like forever grateful. I mean, it was like honestly, if that's what mediums go through, I mean, my goodness, it was kind of like it took me by surprise. I wasn't afraid of it, but it took me by surprise, if that makes sense. Hi, Renee Rogers. How are you? Yeah, it took me by complete surprise. It was like a very unique experience, one which I've never had before. So, um, I don't know if it'll ever happen again or not, but yeah, it was interesting. Um, Kelly, I would love for you to write that down for me so I can post it in my testimonies. Yeah, no, absolutely. I am working on writing something up for you. I didn't want it to just say like, that was great. Thank you so much. I fell asleep and it was wonderful. I want to describe like every sort of moment of the experience, because it wasn't just I was relaxed. Um, it was more like, like if your arm falls asleep or whatever, or your foot fell asleep, and you kind of go like that. That's what I felt like almost like weightless. You know what I mean? It was very, very, very odd, but good feeling. Can't really explain it, but I mean, honestly, and then the second night, just to move past the snapshot that I received, I slept again for like another 10 hours. And I mean, I went to bed at like 10:30 at night, and I go to bed at like 3 in the morning if I'm lucky. So that's unheard of. And I woke up at 6 a.m. like ready to take on the world. And just to give you a comparison of what my normal sleep habit is. So last night, I didn't have a session. And at 4:30 in the morning, I was still awake. And I was up at 9:30 this morning. So that's my normal sleep pattern. So yes, what you did for me, Butterfly Kisses, was an amazing gift. I mean, if I could put you on speed dial and have you do that to me every night, I might actually be able to get rid of these bags under my eyes. Oh my goodness. So I want to pull another not to get away from what we're talking about here. These are these little mini cards that I got here. They're called Chakra Love. Raise your crystal vibrations. Oh yeah, sorry, Butterfly Kisses. That's what I meant. That you felt like you channeled for me, not the vision. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, it was awesome. I've never had an experience like that before. Never had an experience. I love these cards, by the way. I don't know. They're so colorful. This is the backs of the cards. They're so colorful, and they're just little wee mini things, but they're quite neat. So let's see what message we get from these. All right, so we've got, I'll hold that up to the camera. Hopefully you can see it okay. I don't know why it's blurry. So it says Chakra Balance. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit. And to help you with that, the crystals that they recommend are clear quartz, rose quartz, and hematite. I find that very interesting. I'm very interested in crystals. I don't know that much about crystals. And that's probably the next thing that I'm going to, sort of dive into, because I'm quite interested in those. Sorry, I don't want to turn the camera around because I don't want to make anyone nauseous, but I've got a bunch of cards over here on my table. That's what I keep grabbing at. So these are my Soul's Journey cards, and they're new, but they're quite sticky, and I haven't worked with them a whole lot. Every deck I've got is difficult for me to shuffle because, of course, my hands are the size of an 8-year-old. So about those mini chakra ones that I just used are about the only ones that actually fit my hands, to be perfectly honest. So I'm gonna pull one of these, and then I've got 2 more decks there that we could pull a card from, and then we'll wrap this up and let everyone get on with their day. Butterfly Kisses, thank you for what you did. You're just incredibly kind, and I appreciate you so very much for reaching out to me when I was on Allie's show. That was so kind of you. This community is fantastic. Everyone in it is phenomenal, and they're so loving and so supportive, and I just appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. From me to you. Thank you for what you did. All right, let's pull a card here. This is the Soul's Journey. I think I said that already. I'm repeating myself. All right. Can you see that okay? There's lovely images in this deck as well. This is Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And really, isn't no matter how old you are, no matter what you do, every lesson that we're given, we may not always understand the reason, but eventually, it sort of works itself out in terms of, like, your level of understanding sort of goes, oh, okay, now I get it. And even though the challenges are incredibly difficult and can be incredibly painful, that really is the only way that you learn, is by, overcoming your obstacles and your challenges, right? I love that. I love that message. I love that message. So this is the Guardian Angel Oracle deck. These cards are shaped like a heart. They're quite cute. They have little messages on the back. And I really enjoy these cards. Yes, if you haven't gone to Butterfly Kisses channel, please do so. Put your if you know your link, Butterfly Kisses, put it in there. I encourage everyone to go. She's got the most amazing photographs of her trip to Peru on there, which are glorious. I mean, you're never going to see the kind of things that she shows you in her personal photographs, anywhere on Google. That's for certain. What an amazing experience. And thank you, Butterfly Kisses. I appreciate that. All right, so Guardian Angel card is, whoops, I put my finger in front of it, love. Love. Negative thoughts and feelings are sabotaging your pursuit of happiness. We, your angels, are here to help you heal. Allow our healing light to flow through your heart. Consciously infuse each negative thought or feeling with love and light. Feel both your heart and mind aligning to your soul's sacred purpose and unleash your divine potential through the power of love. What a beautiful card, which sort of tied in to the adversity as well as the orange, right? Love it. Love that. So, this deck is the Guiding Light Oracle deck. Now, I just want you all to see, like, that's the size of my hand, and that's the size of the deck. The deck is huge. There is a lot of them, as you can see. It's a new deck, so I have challenges, and they're quite slippery. So every time I shuffle them, I'm secretly doing a prayer that they don't fall all over the place, and I have to do, some sort of form of 52 card pickup. So bear with me here. We're going to pull one of these cards. And for this deck here, we have there's a huge guidebook that comes with it, which is lovely. I just got this deck. As I said, it's Guiding Light Oracle cards. All right, let's see what we have here. We have number 44, Soul Searching. It's time to go within and uncover your true feelings. It's a beautiful card. Let's see what the guidebook has to say for that. All right, this card comes to you today because you may be hiding your true feelings regarding this situation. Sometimes we mask our true feelings from ourselves because we try to do the right thing by others. Your angels and guides are asking you to value your own feelings. You may be confused about how you really feel or what you really need because you are focused on what everyone else expects from you. As soon as you let go of trying to please others around you, you will begin to understand what is going on within you. It is in quiet contemplation that you will get in touch with your inner truth. It is time to ask the question that you may be avoiding. Take this time to dig deep and uncover your inner truth. Your feelings are your guide to your soul. If you suppress them, you will feel cut off from your inner world. You must allow yourself to feel what you are feeling and then ask why you are feeling this way. Once you allow your feelings to be an outlet for expression, you will begin to awaken your inner connection. You will then receive the answers that will guide you in the right direction. How do you really feel and why? You may be surprised when you uncover the truth. That's amazing. I love that. And don't we all, sort of do that whole people pleasing thing in certain ways in our life, whether, like you're in a bad mood, but you don't want to bring anyone down and tell them, your whole story, or maybe you're, having like when you're having a conversation with someone and it's just like, you feel like they're not really getting what you're saying, and you wonder to yourself, like, maybe it's me, maybe I'm not explaining it right, or maybe they just don't care, and you know what I mean? And you get sort of like all inside your head, and it really is important to take that time that they're saying to sort of rest and examine yourself, right? To think about, you know, your adversities, your fears, your challenges, um, and search your soul. I mean, that's how you find answers. That's how you find tips, right? That's how you remember lessons that perhaps you forgot that you've already learned. Um, Interesting set of cards that we pulled today on the 1111 portal. Interesting card. So I want to thank everyone for joining me on this very, very important day. Please don't forget to, set your intentions, manifest, and I hope that, everyone has a great evening, and that, something wonderful happens as a result of today for you. So, from me to you, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate the support, the love, and I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. Mary, what did you make for while you were cooking in the kitchen? What did you make? I'm sorry, I'm curious. Hopefully it's delectable and divine. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me and being with me today. Blessings to each and every one of you. Bye for now.